Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, who's here? By the way, I'm doing a video for YouTube, you know. So I'm doing it on this TikTok platform while I'm going live. So if you're listening to me on YouTube and you're growing heavy-hearted, relax. You know. But because I also want to engage with people that are joining me live on TikTok. If you're here for the first time, or if you've been here for long, follow the brother, subscribe to the channel, like the page, gift to the brother, pray for the brother, give me money. You know, hey, boss lady, I see that you're in the building. Yeah, let's see who's coming. Today's gonna be very fun. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. The most that I'll take, it's like 60 minutes. You wouldn't have to look at this face for more than that. I mean, like, look the way how I look, and I'm in your face. You know. So yeah, Karaps is here. Mrs. Brown, boss lady, thank you very much for the likes. Karaps, thank you very much for the likes. And yeah, let's see how far we're gonna take this. So the bedrock of my channel, if you've been listening to me, if you're as crazy as I am, I speak a lot about healing. You know, we need to start healing. But this healing plays in different forms. One of the forms on how healing plays is forgiveness. I know you've heard about this. Everybody speaks about forgiveness. No, you need to forgive yourself. This and that. Here's the thing. Forgiveness, when you do it, you don't do it for other people. You can do it to other people, but you don't do it for them. When you forgive somebody, you do it for you. And forgiveness, just like anything, it's just like a muscle. At first, you're going to find it impossible to even consider forgiving your ex. At first, you're even going to find it very crazy, the suggestion of me saying that you need to forgive your molester. It's going to sound very absurd. You're going to be like, what? I need to forgive myself. Yeah, man, you know. Oh, yeah, I see somebody followed. Daphne, thank you very much for the giftings. I'm doing this video for YouTube. Let me just say a few things quickly. I don't promote any form of religion. I don't sell any form of religion. I don't sell any form of belief. I don't sell any healing. I don't even have spirituality that I'm selling. The least that you can do if you want to listen to me is to start believing in yourself. Because you are the person that you need to follow. I'm not saying you should leave your church, you know. You know what I mean? So, thank you very much for the followings, the likes, the comments. Yeah, it's painful. Forgiveness is painful. So, forgiveness is more like a muscle, but also remember, forgiveness is part of healing. But forgiveness takes time because you have to now start learning again how to live with people. But here's what I found very fascinating about forgiveness. It's a very simple aspect, but if you look into it, it's very deep. This is what I've realized. You cannot give what you don't have. You can try. You cannot be able to give what you don't have. Imagine this, if you will. Let me say there's no water in this thing, and I'm drinking from it. You guys are probably going to call me crazy, right? You're going to be like, why are you like this? But now, it makes sense because I'm drinking from it and it has something in it. The same with forgiveness. You cannot forgive other people until you're forgiving yourself. And that's where the whole conquering the world business starts. You don't conquer the world by conquering other people. You conquer the world by conquering your own ass. In all respects. For you Christian friends, you're probably hearing a lot of swearing here. I was just trying to show you that I don't care which religion you go with. If you fly with a broom, if you believe in crystals, if you believe in candles, if you believe in music, if you believe in love, for me, I don't care, because a belief is nothing but a car that takes you there. Just like Christianity, just like a candle, just like a crystal, just like meditation, just like yoga, just like prayer. But I find a lot of people bickering and arguing about who's right and who's wrong. Who cares? You know, like, who cares? Hey, corrupt. Thank you. I think the first step for me is to move. Yeah. Sometimes you have to cut yourself from other people. I know some people tell you not to do that. But here's what I'm trying to put into your heart. Whatever that your heart suggests for you, whatever that your heart tells you about other people, start listening to it more. Have you ever met somebody and your heart says to you, they call them red flags, but you decide to fall in love? Look now. Look where you are, and your heart been telling you that this guy is not right, or this lady is not right, or this situation is not right, or this decision is not right. The Egyptians call it the principle of Ma'at, law, justice, and order. Buddhists later on took it and they called it karma. Yeah, so that's what I speak about on this channel. So I make fun of it a lot, because if you've been on a journey, not only reading about it, if you've been on a journey, you'll see that the journey tends to become so painful that the best thing that you can do is to have fun through it. Which is what I speak a lot, or about a lot, to say, when you are going through your journey, whether of forgiveness, of healing, of going through divorce or eviction, or you not having a job, why not just have fun? Instead of you going through it, grow through it. Take something out of the shit, man. Be like the scarab beetle, the Egyptian scarab beetle. You know, the dung beetle. Khalabolo kwe for Basotho. But yeah, let me not go on. I promise I'm not going to be here for more than an hour. If you're here for the first time, you like what we're talking about, follow the brother. I'm doing this video for the YouTube. So if you are a Christian, you are welcome. If you're not a Christian, you're welcome. If you believe in crystals, you're welcome. If you believe in yoga, if you don't go to church, if you go to church, whether you're an African, whether you're a spiritualist, all these things don't really matter. They are nothing but instruments. That's why I kept on saying to people, arguing about which God is more effective or bigger, it's so much a waste of time, because all of us are looking for the same thing. Our hearts. That's what this channel is all about. So, this was mainly for my Christian friends. You know? But then let's go on. What are we doing today? I've been going through a couple of... Hey, Millie! I've been going through a couple of materials, me researching for the classes that we're busy having. By the way, we've been having classes on the other side, you know, like, if you're not in a WhatsApp group where we're sharing books and such communications, please let me know so that I can put you in. Or if you're in a WhatsApp group and you want to be part of the classes, we still have like 7 classes left. So you can join in. You can get hold of me here. The numbers are right here on TikTok. Send the brother a WhatsApp and tell me what do you want. Do you want books? Want to be part of classes? Or you just want to say hi? Or you just want to send me money? So either, it's welcome. So thank you very much for the people that have been sending up the likes, comments, the giftings. You guys are nothing but the best. So in case you're on YouTube and you're checking me out, why not just subscribe to the channel? You know, it's free. I'm asking you this because in this land or in this day and age, it seems that numbers are more important than the value. So what I'm trying to do, because things that I speak about are very, people call them stupid, you know. Spirituality these days, it's called stupid. When you speak about the spiritual things, they call you woke, new ager. There's a couple of names. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to infiltrate these two systems, the TikTok and the YouTube. And I can do it only with your guys' help. Because it turns out that nobody wants to listen to such conversations anymore. People want to check out the load shedding, skomota, the war. Nobody's ever now interested in the love, the forgiveness, the patience, the joy, the laughter, the healing. By the way, fear makes you sick. Love heals you. I just had to say it. I don't know why I had to say it, but probably somebody needs to hear this, either from this platform or the other platform. So let's get to the business of the day. What are we doing today? I've titled up this talk, You and Your Brain. You and Your Brain. That's a title of the whole today's talk. So I'm going to try to keep it succinct, straight to the point, for it to make you kind of like feel good, you know. I do these things to make people feel good, not to say that that's the way how it should be, but I do it because a lot of us are going through a lot, and I think we could use a bit of a smile. I know you're sitting there, your debit order's bounced, and you're like, oh, my world is over. And I come and I invite you, for all of us, to laugh at your troubles. Not to say that they're going to go away, but why be sad when you're going through it? Yeah, I know you have that wine in your house. That is if you're not going to work or if you're not at work. Open up a glass of wine, a bottle of wine. Let's have a wine. Let's talk. This is what I call a safe space, you know. If you are a witch, you are welcome on this platform. If you are an African, you are welcome on this platform. If you are a bishop, you are welcome on this platform. Whatever that you're doing, you are welcome on this platform. Because we do understand, even if we're doing different things, all of us are one. Me and you, same. I know you're probably sitting there, you're like, no, bruh, no. I'm much more lighter skinned than you. I don't mean the body. The body is the illusion. They call it the matrix, the Maya. Oh, there I go again. So, I titled today's talk, You and Your Brain. If you've been following this platform for the longest amount of time, you will know that I'm very fascinated about the brain. I speak about neuroscience a lot. Neuroscience, by the way, it's the study of your brain. I don't know whether, do you know that you have a brain? I laugh about this because a lot of us have been discouraged from thinking. A lot of us have been discouraged from thinking, particularly thinking for ourselves. Most of us, we feel comfortable thinking in a group. No, somebody that speaks these things, they have to wear a three-piece suit. You can't speak about quantum physics and you look like you just came out of bed. I've been doing it for the longest amount of time. What I'm trying to do is sometimes we need to develop this thing of thinking for ourselves and on our own. Leave the group think. I don't think God was bored when you were given the brain. This thing that is in your head, there's this 3.5 kgs for men, 2.9 kgs for women. But it doesn't mean like the women are more smarter than men. In actual fact, men are much more dumb. And I say proudly, not dumb in an intellectual form. We're going to read about it today. But dumb in a sense of women are much more attuned and connected to nature. They have the intuition capacities that surpass males in large numbers that you've ever come across. It's a woman that can make a house a home. You can give a man 1,000 rand for a weekend. You will finish it. But you can give a woman 1,000 rand for a year and you'll always have a meal. I didn't say a month, I said a year. So the fact that I'm mentioning that the woman's brain are much more smaller, I'm not saying they're stupid. For you guys out there, you know, the intellectuals. You know, for you male domineering people thinking that you don't have to respect women. Just wanted to be political there, you know. Hey, Fontaine, welcome. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. I think I'm gonna be out here by 10 o'clock. Today I'm speaking about you and your brain. So now, your brain has a dedicated study that is called neuroscience. Neuroscience is a study that investigates the anatomy and physiology of your brain. The physical part of the brain and the non-physical part of the brain. The physical part of the brain, you know, you get the neurons, the axons, the dendrites, the synapses, the blah, blah, blahs. And now the non-physical part of the brain is your thoughts, your beliefs, your values, what drives you. But a lot of us have been told that we should not use our brain. We should wait for the Savior. You know, like somebody's coming, you know, like stop thinking, somebody's coming. But who am I to say anything, because arguing is what got us here in the first place. That's why I normally say to people, I don't believe in arguments, particularly on platforms like these. If you saying this works for you, who am I to say change? If you say a rock works for you, if you say that this works for you, if you say that a blue candle works for you, if you say that a book works for you, what I understand is the following. Power does not lie in a crystal. A power does not lie in a book. A power does not lie in somebody out there. Power lies within you. You happen to believe in a rock, and a rock gives you what you believe in. A rock is nothing until you believe in a rock. Scientifically, that science is called the placebo effect. You make things what you want them to be. So if you don't go to church, if you go to church, me and you, we are all looking for the same thing. Why argue about it? And what is it that we're going to get out of arguing about it? Are you going to be much more smarter? You know, you're going to sound more smarter because you got good English and you got straight teeth and you got a three-piece suit and you got degrees falling out of your business card. Your IQ has been measured to be equivalent to that one of Einstein. The world is no longer about that, Barnabas. The world is now about the heart, inside. I don't have a problem with the outside, but we're focusing too much on the outside. Let's read for this 20 minutes. By the way, that's a study of neuroscience. So go read a little bit about neuroscience. Thank you very much for the people that have been gifting. I set some targets there. You know what I mean? See what you can do with those targets. I know a lot of them want a lot of money. But see what you can do there. By the way, alternatively as well, you can subscribe to the channel. What you can do as well, you can sign up for the classes. Or if you just love what we do, you can contribute to the platform by following, by liking, and blah, blah, blah. Today I'm speaking about the brain. I want to read from this book so that I don't forget. There's a lot, trust me, that I can say without this book, but I found this book to be, hey, it slaps, bro. Hey man, this book slaps differently. And I'll tell you what's the name of the book. Let me show you the book. I don't think you guys can see. It's a Reader's Digest, the Book of Human Body. Yeah, let me see. Reader's Digest, the Book of Human Body. I want to read some few things about the brain. Some of them you might know, but I want us to look at it in a different light. I'm going to read a lot from this book. I don't necessarily like reading for people because I tend to be slow, particularly when I get too excited about the topic. And because I also don't like being read to, it tends to be a bit of a bore. But if you guys can just bear with me for like 20 minutes. Obviously, I'll read and say something, but I'll try to do mostly reading. This chapter, it talks about your brain, unrealized power. There are powers that we have in our brains that we're not aware that we do have. As a result, they are sleeping. They have atrophied. They have calcified. There's a rule in neuroscience that says, if you don't use it, you lose it. So if you have not using a certain skill, it goes to sleep. Your job and my job is to awaken those. That's what being woke means. Being woke is not you knowing about 7 chakras and telling me about the distance from here to the sun, or telling me about the aura. Tell me about the shit that I can do so that I can. One of the things that you should do, particularly when you are on a journey, start reading. That's a prerequisite. You cannot be able to overpass that. Or you can't say you're a conscious person and you don't even read. You know, you tend to regurgitate information so much that all that people know is 7 chakras. Did you even know that there are 12 chakras system? Did you even know that there are 144,000 chakras in your body? But now, no, all that we know is the 7 chakra system, because a lot of us, even when we send books in groups, even when we get the book clubs, even when you show your brother a book, they look at you and they're like, haven't you seen the latest Facebook? Haven't you seen the latest Showmax? Haven't you seen the latest Netflix? People, if you want to know yourself, you can't do it by watching Uzalo. I mean, like, I don't have anything wrong against the TV, but Uyajola 99, so far, what has it given you? What I'm trying to say, I don't want to be preachy or stuff. What I'm trying to say is, you will know what is nourishing your true self. On top of reading, while you're conscious, Sometimes you need to switch off the TV. Stop listening to the news, just temporarily, you know. You don't have to go out in the mountains and become a hermit, you know. But what you're trying to do is, you're trying to calibrate your energy. You're trying to minimize the external forces so that you can get to know yourself, which is what we're doing today. Let's read. Your brain's unrealized potential. Here's a number one unrealized potential of the brain. There is no such thing as brain fag. There is no such thing as brain fag. Let's read on what they're saying about this. Laymen often speak of mental fatigue or brain fag, thinking that long, concentrated mental effort produces tightness in the brain itself. This is what they're trying to say here. There is no such a thing of saying that the brain is limited. Your brain possesses unlimited potential. There is no such thing as brain fog. Your brain can become anything. Your brain can be anywhere. Your brain can become anyhow it wants to be. Such a thing as a brain fag does not exist. This is one of the concepts that David Gawkins, the number one Marine, he wrote a book, You Can't Hurt Me. Get yourself that book. David Gawkins, the name of the book is You Can't Hurt Me. He speaks about the ultimate potentiality of the brain. This is what quantum physicians spoke about when they said that our brain exists in an infinite potential of possibilities. So, do you want to go fly? Who knows? Probably you could. You want to heal yourself? And it looks impossible right now? Who knows, if you do it for long, you can get it right. Have you tried putting an effort in getting yourself better? Have you watched your words lately? You know, like what do you say? Like when you don't have money, what do you say? Do you say you don't have money, or do you go like, I know that I have 50 rands, it's just that it hasn't reflected in my bank account yet. When they are evicting you at your house, are you saying, this is the end of the world? Or are you saying, I wonder, what is the universe teaching me? When your body is breaking apart and falling apart and nothing in your life seems to work, do you quickly resort into killing yourself? Or do you convince yourself to stick around? Because a lot can change. We have the infinite brain that can give us beautiful things. In this book here, The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and this one here by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Go read those books. They'll show you what is it that your brain can give you or can do for you, but if you properly direct it. So one of the fallacies is your brain has unlimited potential. Want to become a scientist? Why not start now? Want to become a healer? Why not start now? But here's a catch. But here's a catch. You cannot be able to give what you don't have. So if you're looking into forgiving other people, the business is a bit oxymoronish in this way. You're pretty much going to have to start forgiving yourself before you can give it to other people. So when you are on the journey, whether you are on a spiritual journey, healing journey, whatever the fuck journey you are on, because a lot of people are on different journeys. Somebody are on the journey of self-acceptance. They've been telling you that you're not worth it. Now you're rewriting the whole story. You want to show the world that you're worth it. That is also a journey. So don't look at these chakra hands telling you about chakras only thinking it's themselves on the journey. Everybody's on the journey. So when you're on the journey, if you want to love other people, you firstly have to love yourself. If you want money, because money is also energy. If you want money, you're going to have to start giving out money. If you want love, you firstly going to have to start giving out love. That's how you exercise your brain. You teach it something else different. But it's not easy because sometimes it can make you sick. They call it cognitive dissonance. Psychologically, you feel stuck, You want to move, but you're like, ooh, are you trying to say I can become a millionaire? Hey, man, let's go check it out. I'm also on the same road. I want to see how far can this brain take me. So if you're one of those people, please start reading. Join in the WhatsApp group that we have. Send me a WhatsApp. Or also send me the gifts. Hey, Carabs. Thank you for reminding them. So that's the number one. Here's the second principle. Brain's untapped power. The brain's capacity is almost inexhaustible. That part of your brain involved in thinking and memory and all your conscious activities has as its most important part 10 or 12,000 million minute cells. Your brain has trillions, 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 and trillions, and trillions, 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 trillions. Capacity. Your brain is inexhaustible. But a lot of us have been restricting ourselves because we don't know better. That is why the Bible says, watch out for ignorance. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. So ignorance is a killer. Kahle here, the devil that we need to fight is not somebody that is waiting for us when we die. No. The devil or the enemy that we need to fight is ignorance. I know your pastor probably told you that heaven or hell is when you die. We know that now heaven and hell is a state of mind. So that threat does not hold water anymore. It's like when a pope looks at you, they like, you're going to hell. You're like, really? I'll tell you why I say that. Let me show you the book that I got recently. If I can find it. Yeah. If I can find it. If I don't, I will leave it. It's a book about, hey, Jesus Christ just joined. Hey, I like your name, Jesus. Hey, man. Hey, that's a powerful name, that. So what happens is the concept of heaven and hell, it's nothing but the state of mind. What I'm trying to say with that is, when you're having a tough day, you normally say it's hell. But when you're having a good day, you call it heaven. So there's nobody waiting for you on the other side. Your heaven is now. But if you're waiting to die, you reminded me of what the military saying that goes like, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. But I don't want to sound political. Let's finish up the second part of the brain. Each of these has a set of tiny tendrils by means which an electrochemical message can pass from one cell to another. So your brain is superb. Don't take it lightly. And you have it and I have it. And you don't need to go anywhere to exercise it. All that you need to do is to know thyself. Here's the third untapped potential. Your IQ is less important than you probably think. You think you're smart because they did an IQ test at you at work, or an IQ test for you at work, and all of a sudden they're telling you that you're smarter than Einstein. The world does not look at that as wisdom. Wisdom is you communicating with nature. Not you telling us 1 + 1 is 2. That is the aspect of the logical mind. Intellectuals, or your IQ, it's part of your conscious mind, which, by the way, is only 2%. Alan Watts calls it intellectual elephantitis. You think that you know books, you better, but you treat people bad. You think it's fine to lie. You think it's okay to hurt other people, but you have degrees. You know, I mean, isn't it funny that your degrees, because you're smarter now, quote unquote, mustn't your degrees teach you how to treat people? By the way, I'm sending that shit to YouTube. You know, I want to break the YouTube space. So the same video, the way how it is, I'm sending it straight to YouTube. I want to see what they say. You know, but then if you haven't checked out my videos, go check out my YouTube. We tried to change the way how people should think there. It's not an easy task, because on this journey you have to convince yourself every day. That's why I say to people, trust your heart. It knows the way. Not the Pope, not the Guru, not the prophet, not the bishop, nor any other vicarious savior coming to you or for you. This is your savior. For me, it looks like I'm pointing at Mickey Mouse. But yeah, you can call it Mickey Mouse. This, your heart, is your savior. But if your heart is not in the right place, the long and short of it is you fucked. I tend to have a lot of phlegm, particularly the first day of a fast. Doesn't sound right for the camera, eh? But then I'm not doing it for the camera, if you know what I mean. Your IQ is less important. So if your IQ is high, it's not important on your spiritual journey. It's a waste of time. The spiritual journey, it's not logical. I mean, like, let's take an issue of forgiveness. How do you quantify forgiveness? Do you think forgiveness is logical? Have you tried truly forgiving? And have you looked at how it behaves? Forgiveness sometimes can send you mad because it's not logical. So your high IQ with your spiritual journey, they don't mix, bro. So don't come here and quote me books about who said this, or quote me about the distance from the sun to the moon and the whatever. Right here is about the heart, bros. So put your IQ on the side. Instead of thinking with your head, think with your heart. Hey, Kelly, let's go. We started. Like, you're not late. We started. But this one is not a hard fasting. This is what I do. I don't eat anything that is cooked. And this doesn't have any religious backing. This does not have any prayer behind it. This is just me purifying up my blood, because it's through my blood where now the plasmic content can communicate with my other self. So when I fast, I clean myself so that I can increase my cosmic Wi-Fi bars. Brain's untapped potential. So IQ, put it on the side. What's a fourth? Age need not to prevent you from learning. This now I'm gonna get. Think and Grow Rich. Timeless book. I don't really believe in entirely what they're talking about, but most of the concepts here, like chapter 17, sexual transmutation. Woo! What a chapter that is. You're on time. So what I do is I don't eat anything that is cooked. I do it until Wednesday evening. So don't put me into it. Do it for yourself, you know. This is not a church fast. Even you guys on TikTok or YouTube, when you're listening to this or whenever, when the brother is no longer here, 2050 or 2000, I'll now be a myth that used to go live on TikTok. I used to speak about the spiritual realm. It will be like 100 years to come. And you were like, oh, this is how they used to do it. Back in 2024. Yeah. When you fast on Monday and Wednesday, it's for you, not for anybody else. Or when you decide to fast. Nothing really, really important about the days anyway. So let me finish. Age need not to prevent you from learning. One of the common misconceptions about the brain is that as you grow older, something happens to it, causing learning process to become more difficult. This is nothing but the myth. This is true only to such a minute extent that for most of us, we thought it was true. Your brain remains active for as long as you are breathing. Let me say that again. Your brain remains effective for as long as you are breathing. Even if you have dementia, even if you have Alzheimer, even if you might be suffering from any neurocognitive diseases, your brain is still working. Age does not have anything to do with this shit. So if you want to read and you're like 55 years old, start now. Why not now? And while you're at it, also start reading books that you don't necessarily agree with. Stop reading things you only agree with. That's a church mentality. Stop reading one book. Who knows one book knows nothing. Read all these books. Like now, today I'm reading from this one here. Reader's Digest, Book of the Human Body. This book was released 1964. I'm reading from a chapter of the Brain's Untapped Potential. Thank you very much for the giftings, for the likings, for the followings. If you want to get hold of me personally, my numbers are right here on TikTok. Send me a WhatsApp. Let's talk privately. If you got nothing to ask from a book, if you just feel like you love the channel and you want to give me money, you know, I normally take cash cents sometimes. But for the stingy brothers that are still walking out of the stinginess spirit, work on that. Once you're done, you can come and gift. But if your stinginess part is still holding you by the scrotum, you know, hold on, work on it. I don't want those energies, particularly with the money that has been sent or not being sent. Work on that. If you just came from the church and they took a lot of your money and I start sounding like them, deal with that. It's not really the money that is the problem. The money is a neutral entity. You are the controller of the energy. Money is nothing but energy. Currency. So, for you people that are old, stop saying that you can't read because you're old. It's an excuse. Here's a fifth untapped potential. Your mental powers grow with use. Your mental powers grow with use. Let's read on. Let's hear what they're saying. Like the muscular system of the body, the brain tends to atrophy with disuse and to become better with exercise, more use. So if you want to start getting used to reading, at first it's going to be very difficult. You better believe it. If you want to start getting to believe in yourself, at first it's going to be very difficult. But what does this book say? The more you do it, 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 the more. Think about when you were learning to ride a bicycle. That is if you manage to know how to ride a bicycle or you just quit on it. You know, you're like, hey man, this thing has been making me fall. Fuck the bicycle. Did you say that or did you continue to riding up the bicycle? If in case you did continue to riding up a bicycle, you will know that the process in you learning how to ride a bicycle was horrible. was bloody, was very dangerous, life-threatening to some extent. But you made it through the hardship and you got the bicycle right. Right now, I can wake you up 2 o'clock in the morning and say, go ride a bicycle. You wouldn't even flinch or think twice about it, would you? What caused that? Because you've now mastered it. You have now written it in yourself. It's no longer in the book. Here's a sixth untapped potential. Woo-hoo. This now is going to be a problem. I'm going to try to read mostly on this one so that I don't get out off the topic. The unconscious mind, it's a marvelous storehouse. Your unconscious mind, it's a marvelous storehouse. This is the sixth untapped brain's potential. I'm reading from the Reader's Digest Book of the Human Body. This book was released back in the 1960s. These are not my words. Just before you start an argument, let me say this quickly before you can jump in. Say, he said this and that. Here's a nice thing about my platform. You don't have to remember or even to believe the shit that I say. In actual fact, you believing me, you causing me issues. Because now I have to convince and over-explain. And that takes a shitload amount of time. What you do on this platform, you don't even need to write the shit down. This is not a question of who's right and who's wrong. This is a question of the information. Can us, particularly of black descent, can we stop arguing about useless issues? You go to church, it's an issue. You don't go to church, it's an issue. You smoke weed, it's an issue. You don't smoke weed, it's an issue. You drink wine, it's an issue. You don't drink wine, it's an issue. You perform animal slaughter, it's an issue. You don't perform it, it's an issue. This God is good, this God is bad. When are we going to stop? Or do we want to stop? Or does it make us feel good? Destroying other people's ideas so that your idea can stand? In my classes, they call them classes, you know. Don't think it's me who came with the name. They call them classes, right? In my classes, I was speaking about Egyptian mythology yesterday. Right on the money, Hawk. Right on the money. We're living in an Orwellian state. Animal Farm. I was speaking about Egyptian mythology. That Egyptian mythology believed, or Egyptian mythology, one of the principles was cooperation than competition. Cooperation over competition. What does that say? If somebody speaks about it, not all of us have to speak about it. If somebody does yoga, not everybody needs to do yoga. If somebody speaks about meditation, not everybody has to do meditation. Any concept that you can think of, church, Krishna, whatever that your belief is, it takes us back to that thing of thinking for yourself. It's difficult, particularly living in an Orwellian state, like Hawk is saying, where everybody's looking at everybody. It's a big brother, self-appointed. I shared today in a WhatsApp group a miseducation of a Negro. If you are of a black descent and you haven't read that book, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on that book. Don't sleep on that book. This, by the way, is going to TikTok, to YouTube. If you're here for the first time, follow the brother. Even if I'm done with these, go check out my profile. I've done some of the videos. If you want to still join the classes, send me a WhatsApp. We can talk as to how it works. Because we're not doing it on the same platform. We're doing it on a different platform. We only have it 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's just an hour. We share books, different things, if you want to be part of, or we have an upcoming retreat. It's finalized now. You can also ask me about it. We're having on the second last week of April. Have you ever read? Yeah, it's bad, bruh. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's rotten. Oh, it smells. You know, I've read the book. I'm saying the whole situation smells because we seem to be going nowhere very, very fast. And we're very proud of it. You know, we as a civilization, particularly a miseducation of the Negro will teach you that to say we are relying on principles that are not of us as Africans. I didn't plan to do this, but since we're here, why not carry on? Hold on, I have to get this book. Oh yeah, yes. Nobody even cared to tell me where the book is. You guys are bad. I'm just passing through, not staying. Hey! We're still here. The Democrats have because hey, where are you guys? I just go for a minute and I'll find you guys handling such beautiful, scrumptious topics. It's just that I have something to read here. Otherwise, I would have waited in it. But let me just show you. Particularly you as an African descent, you have to start knowing yourself. Because a lot of principles that we're living by are not ours. Let's take education for one. If you want to go there. My loving. Yeah? Oh. I'm almost done. The name of the book is Khmer African Royal. You'll find them on Facebook. Great Empire of Khmer Movement. You'll find them on Facebook. You can take a screen crop or screenshot, then you can order. I think the book is like, I don't know, bought it some time ago. What this book teaches you is not really for you to become an astrologer or for you to now start on putting beads and going mad. But concepts. Education for one. Africans never had the issue of specialization. An African is an all-rounder. If you are the child in a village, somebody needs a hammer, you provide a hammer. If somebody needs this, you provide that. Meaning you become a holistic being. We never used to believe in specialization. Specialization is for ants. You become a whole being by specialization. You become a whole being by destroying the idea of specialization. You can be a friend, you can be a healer, you can be a husband, you can be a brother, you can be a cousin, you can be anything that you can be or you want to be. But hey, that's a topic for another day. So, what I was getting to, damn man, I was on a very good concept, man. You guys took me off. But maybe perhaps I'm supposed to go back to the book. In case I didn't finish, Hardy. Let me go back to the book and finish because I said that this video is going to be not more than an hour. The unconscious mind is a marvelous storehouse. The most wonderful part of your mind is undoubtedly unconscious, which lies below the recoverable memory and thousands times larger. We don't yet know very much about the unconscious mind, but we are learning fast, and someday we may know much to tap into these powers. Remember, this book was released in 1960. There is a lot of empirical study and data and everything that we have to share that we've circulated in the, we have a WhatsApp group, by the way, where we're sharing up the books. That is if you are a reader, if you don't complain that a book is taking up space in your phone. Instead of you having a book in your phone, you rather have selfies in your phone. You know. But yet at the same time, our belief systems are different. All that I'm saying is, at this day and age, we need to start developing empowering belief systems. It's better to have a book than a selfie in your phone, you know. So you can join in the WhatsApp group where we're sharing up the books. We have classes as well on the side. You get it loaded. Also send us some as well, eh? Yeah, audiobooks, I don't know. I don't have a plug up for the audiobooks, you know. But Hawk, if you have, you know, we can bootleg it. Send the brother some hookup for the audiobooks. Because here's the thing. Why are we trying to make them accessible to a lot of people? People of African descent in particular, they don't want to pay. People don't want to pay for their self-development. This is the most funny thing that I've ever witnessed and seen. I'll give you an example. You can say to somebody, here's a book. They're selling the book for 50 rands. This book is going to save your life. It's 50 rands. But somebody says, no, bruh, you know, I think with that 50 rands I can get a loaf of bread and maybe get a 2 liter of Coke. I got nothing against the food. I eat too. Everybody does. That has encouraged the mentality of us always getting things for free. And not only books, not only TikToks, not only information, but we grew up subliminally with a self-entitlement written in our DNA. Because we think that the world owes us something. Somebody owes you something, you know. Like, you get into a relationship with somebody, you feel like they have to complete you. How do you get into a relationship as a half? So it's half and halves and halves and halves and halves and halves. Nobody's ever complete. This is what getting things for free has got us into. You say to somebody you're charging for a class, they're crying a foul. But when they buy 220 of cigarette, they pay $100. 48 hours, they done smoking it. And I got nothing against cigarette. I got nothing against food. I got nothing against alcohol. In actual fact, I say to people, whatever that your heart wants to do or your spirit leads you to do, please follow your heart. There's nothing right or wrong here. It's all lessons. It depends where your heart is. If you think God is punishing you, you'll go around being full of guilt. Wherever you go, you're just full of guilt. Wherever you go. I mean, like, a relationship fails, you're full of guilt. Until you find out that the person that you broke up with was a serial rapist and a murderer. So your divorce, kahle was you being protected. But back then you cried that God was punishing you. Education. That's what our TV tells us. Your unconscious mind contains millions of past experiences that, for as far as your conscious mind knows, are lost forever. You don't know what really drives you. You think it's you. You know, you're probably thinking that you are in this relationship because your conscious mind was saying, no. I'll give you a simple example, a very stupid example. Have you ever seen that people that normally play around and have a lot of body count, they tend to be the first ones that get married? Like the ones that we call bad girls in our hometowns. They are the ones that firstly start getting married. Have you seen that anomaly? You'll be like, so-and-so, married, by who? They're like, but this lady was doing this and that and that. Here's what drives us. It's not the conscious mind, but it's the heart. People think that That woman, because she was playing around, she's not going to be able to get hitched. But the heart has it the other way. The heart, by the way, it's part of the subconscious mind. This is where you get your intuition. When God speaks to you, apparently, this is your God's voice, your compass, your GPS. You navigate with this here. But if it's full of chamors, you know, and now it's going to spew a whole lot of stuff. So what I'm trying to say is the following. It's hard work. You're unconscious. By means of several devices, we now know how to bring back lost memories. One of the methods is free association used by psychiatrists. If a patient lets his conscious mind wander at will, it can give him clues to forgotten things, which, skillfully pursued by the doctor, will bring up the whole networks of lost ideas and forgotten terrors. They also call it hypnosis. Hypnosis, by the way, was taken from the whole thing of the Greek mythology, where there was a king who was called Hypnosis. Hypnosis was a king that used to love sleeping a lot. So now, when you are going into hypnotic state, you are going into a sleeping state. But you don't need a doctor to do that. Who do you need? Yourself. You need to understand your brain waves. When you sleep, where do your brain waves go? Your brain waves, they go from gamma, beta, alpha, theta, beta. Now, not beta, delta. Now, what you do is you can induce or reduce the level of your brain activity even while you're still awake. Now, when you do that, you start thinking, oh, can I control that? Yeah, they call it imagination. Let's go to the seventh and the last untapped potential. Your old brain and the new brain can be kept in proper proportion. Wait for this now. You know, always save the best for last. This is what they say. The old brain and the new can be kept in proper proportion. Let's hear what they say. Your brain may be described with severe oversimplification as having three parents or three parts. The upper brain, the middle, and the lower. If you've been joining me on my platform, especially when I speak about the brain, I tell you about your triune brain. They're not calling it triune brain here, but there's a book, Psychocybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. There's a guy in there, Dr. Paul McLean, he speaks about the triune brain, reptilian brain, emotional brain, and thinking brain. But this guy here, he says you have the upper brain, the middle brain, and the lower brain. I don't even know why I say the guy, probably is a lady. That's how biased all of us are. We're thinking that good things only have to come from men. But I guess it's this idea of having God as a man. All of us have it at the back of our heads. Somehow when you speak about God, you think about this grandfather, you know, with white beards. I know you do. Here's a funny thing with me. When I speak about God, God is a woman and she's black. That's how I think about God. Darkness. I know. Think about that. The lower section is where the automatic functions of the brain are performed, keeping the blood and lungs functioning, for instance. Your lower brain, if you want to go spiritual, you know, because I know there's a lot of spiritual people that are here, they're like, no, bro, you can't say that you woke and you don't say something about spirituality. Let's go there. Did you know that your lower brain, it's also known as your root chakra? Your root chakra, which is also red in color. Your lower brain neuroscientifically, it's also called your animal brain, your reptilian brain. I know you probably got scared with that name from David Icke. He's been telling you about reptilians. They've been telling you that somebody's coming to take our ass or to save our ass. We all know that's nothing but bullshit. So, if you want to start fixing up your animal self, you have to start fixing up your chakras. How do you fix up your chakras? What does your lower chakra do? Self-acceptance. Do you wholly accept yourself? Or do you think you could have a better English? Do you accept the S that God gave you, or you want to go to the gym and make it bigger? Do you love the way how your teeth look, or you wish you could get some false teeth? Do you feel punished by God every time God is doing wrong things to you? Those are the questions that your lower chakra deals with. It's not the pastor that's going to help you with that. It's not me. It's not a guru. It's not the book. It's you having a conversation with yourself. That's why I normally say to people, if you think that God is punishing you, God is not punishing you. Nobody is. You are punishing yourself. That's where the shit is at. So let's go. I want to finish up with this. The midbrain participates in the operations, but also serves as bridge to pass the message to the upper brain. This top part of the brain is a single characteristic which most strongly separates man from animal. The moment when you start doing the work of healing yourself, you're going to get in contact with your prefrontal cortex, your thinking brain, your magical brain. By the way, in your head, this is what they also call, according to Buddhism, they call it the cave of Brahma. This is where your church is. Oh, neuroscientifically, these things, they are called the temples. The temples meaning church. Your church is in here. Also in here. I know people are going to be like, oh, so what are you saying about our churches? I'm not saying anything. You can still go to church. You can still go with any belief that you want to go with. Remember when I started, I said I'm not selling any form of belief. So people that have been going around and telling you you need to move from this church to that church, or if you're one of those people thinking that moving from church to church is going to solve your problems, you in for it. The truth that you've been looking for, ultimately, it's in you. So shifting a church is not going to really help you. Shifting a relationship is not really going to help you. The person that you need to start looking for, it's you. So if you're a Christian, study that. If you are a Buddhism, study that. Stop listening to these new ages that are telling you that you need to stop going to church. Because I know this is how these new ages can make you feel guilty, You carry the Bible and they come and speak about the chakras, all of a sudden you start feeling guilty. No, start knowing yourself, man. It's not about the outside, it's about the inside. This video is going to YouTube. If you want to be part of the classes, please let me know. My numbers are on TikTok. If you find me on YouTube, follow the brother, like the page, do whatever that you want to do with it. If you want to be part of the retreat, part of the classes, please let me know. If you've stuck with the video till this far, you must be very crazy. Follow the brother, like the button. We're trying to take over the world. We're trying to take over the YouTube space and the TikTok space, so help us with that. If you found anything of value out of this, please go help others. Until then,